This marked humanity's first close encounter with Titan X. Glowing with a blue luminescence, the creature appeared to harbor no malice. Indeed, at this very moment, it seemed to have established some form of connection with Kate. Yet, just then, the humans launched an attack. Utilizing Apex's newly developed neural implant technology, designed specifically to bring Titan-class behemoths under control, they struck. Titan X let out a furious roar, clearly suffering significant distress from the assault. It was then that the sacred scarabs played a pivotal role. Countless beetles swarmed to the site of the injury, and within moments, they succeeded in gnawing through and severing the invasive tentacles. Ultimately, these greedy humans would be made to face the full fury of Titan X. Congratulations on catching the brand new 5th episode of Project Monarch. Personnel from Apex Corporation arrived in Santa Soledad, southern Chile, to carry out advanced preparations. A countdown blared incessantly over the loudspeakers. A Level 2 alert was in effect, warning that the Titan-class behemoth would arrive in 13 hours. May's neural control code was designated as the primary weapon to be deployed against Titan X during this operation. However, May herself remained hesitant. After all, the entity she was tasked with controlling this time was a Titan, a creature of immense power. Meanwhile, Shaw and his team were also en route to Santa Soledad aboard an aircraft. Taro, puzzled, asked why they were so certain that Santa Soledad was Titan X's intended destination. Keiko explained they had previously visited the island, where the indigenous inhabitants had performed a ritualistic ceremony to summon Titan X. The islanders referred to him as Kong Kai, but according to data gathered previously, the creature was predicted to surface roughly once every 15 years. Based on that timeline, Titan X should not have reappeared until 2023, yet his arrival had been accelerated by a full 6 years. The likely cause was Kate, who had activated the Suzuki device on Skull Island, thereby prematurely rousing the Titan from its slumber within the world axis. This implied that Titan X had not emerged from the world axis because of Kate. Rather, it followed its own inherent temporal cycle, and Kate had merely hastened that process. Based on the intel provided by May, it appeared highly probable that Apex Corporation intended to utilize neural implants to bring the Titan under their control. But was their true objective merely to prevent the behemoth from attacking humanity? By the time Shaw and his team arrived at Isla de Mara, Apex Cybernetics had already fully deployed its forces on the island. Naturally, Shaw's group was spotted immediately. However, Apex's priority at this stage was simply to ensure they didn't cause any trouble, and more critically, to prevent them from inadvertently leading Monarch straight to the site. Meanwhile, Monarch was indeed racing toward the sanctuary, but because Apex had failed to share real-time intelligence with them, Monarch's progress lagged significantly behind. Suddenly, alarms blared across the warship. "I think it's a Titan X. It's coming right for us." Titanus X was following the same trajectory as Monarch, but was moving at a speed far exceeding that of the warship. 100 meters. Impact imminent. Fortunately, the creature was merely passing through. Titanus X swept directly beneath the warship, leaving Monarch, now hopelessly behind schedule, in its wake. Tim immediately relayed this critical update to Shaw and his team. By this time, Titanus X was just 16 kilometers from Isla de Mara. Apex personnel were reporting back to headquarters that everything was proceeding exactly according to plan. Little did they know, Shaw's team had already sprung into action. Their objective was to stop Apex from deploying the neural implant devices. They believed that if these devices failed, a highly probable outcome, they would only serve to enrage Titanus X further. Moreover, they remained deeply suspicious of Apex's true motives. They quickly located the drone carrying the Neuralink payload. From a window, Kate spotted Ren Sarazawa. Clutching a tablet, he appeared visibly anxious. Jason rushed over to urge him to evacuate, warning that the Titan was expected to arrive in a mere 15 minutes. Just as Ren was preparing to leave, Shaw called out to him from the shadows of the night, determined to confront him face to face and uncover exactly what Apex was plotting. Ren stepped inside, whereupon Kate immediately demanded to know why he was aiding Apex. Ren, however, remained steadfast in his conviction. He argued that their work was essential to preventing another catastrophe like the San Francisco incident. He even spoke with impassioned fervor, claiming they had achieved a monumental breakthrough that would enable them to control the Titan. Kate were trying to do something good here. The two factions parted ways on bitter terms, but Kate had already zeroed in on the central contradiction. Why was Apex keeping Monarch in the dark? Gazing out the window, Shaw articulated the true, terrifying core of the situation. Whoever holds the leash not only possesses the ability to prevent Titan-related catastrophes, but can also precisely orchestrate them, effectively turning these colossal beasts into weapons. This realization also explained why Apex Corporation insisted on such secrecy, and why they were racing to complete their proof of concept before Monarch could intervene. At that very moment, the facility controlled by Apex began to shake violently. Deep within the cavern, the swarm of scarabs, sensing a primal summons, stirred into motion. Seizing the moment while Apex's attention was diverted, the infiltration team launched their operation, only to be immediately detected by surveillance systems. To prevent the intruders from sabotaging their drones, Dr. Holland made the snap decision to launch them ahead of schedule. The sudden blast of air from the launch knocked Shaw off his feet. Just then, the scarab swarm descended upon them. Everyone else scrambled back inside the building for cover, leaving only the fallen Shaw stranded outside. Seizing his chance, Shaw took cover behind a sacrificial altar, enduring as the swarm of scarabs crawled right over his body. Once the entire swarm had surged past him and headed toward the sea, Shaw emerged, battered and bleeding. His companions rushed out to drag the injured man back into the safety of the building. Meanwhile, Kate, hearing the call of Titan X, as if drawn by some unseen force, walked straight toward the shoreline. Titan X rose halfway out of the ocean depths, gazing silently at Kate, with an aura of immense, palpable power. Inside the building, the others realized Kate was missing. Mark rushed outside and found her standing perilously close to Titan X. Terrified for his daughter's safety, he charged forward. However, Titan X showed no signs of aggression toward anyone else. As if bound by some mysterious link, the girl and the beast continued to advance slowly toward one another. Apex Corporation, however, viewed this as the perfect opportunity. They commanded their drones to fire a missile. Titan X emitted a high-frequency sonic pulse. Kate clutched her head in agony and collapsed to the ground. Mark seized the moment to rush to her side, while the others, seemingly unaffected by the sonic blast, remained unharmed. As previous footage had revealed, Titan X possessed a unique bioluminescent physiology. Now, the Apex control room attempted to exploit this vulnerability by targeting the creature with a high-energy pulse. Titan X thrashed in agony amidst the crackling electrical currents, its bioluminescence flickering wildly. Data streams flooding the control room monitors revealed intense neural discharges firing across the Titan's forehead, cerebral cortex, and amygdala, indicating a state of either extreme terror or extreme aggression. In the auxiliary control room, preparations were underway to achieve full neural synchronization. The override protocols were initiated to disrupt the monster's physiological responses, causing its entire musculature to convulse violently. However, May quickly realized that the system was overloading. The sheer density of the monster's neurons triggered a massive surge in data feedback, a load their system simply could not withstand. Meanwhile, the scarabs were mobilized. Countless units swarmed the wound site, and in a shocking display of ferocity, literally gnawed through Titan X's tentacles to sever the neural link and halt the interference. Yet as the massive tentacles crashed to the ground, the impact still caught Kate and her companions in the blast zone. Concurrently, back in the control room, data packets were being lost, and the operation was deemed a failure. Holland issued an urgent order for immediate evacuation. By this time, Titan X had been enraged. Its coloration began to shift to a furious crimson. Having vented its wrath, the monster turned and retreated back into the depths of the ocean. Meanwhile, Kate made a shocking discovery. Her father, Hiroshi, lay mortally wounded, his body impaled and his life ebbing away. In his final moments, cradled in the arms of his wife Keiko, Hiroshi confessed his regret at having missed the greater part of Kate's life. So many precious moments gone forever. By the time their son, Kentaro, managed to summon medical personnel, Hiroshi had already breathed his last. Hiroshi's death marks a deeply sorrowful turning point in the narrative. However, for fans of the monster action genre, it also signals that the focus on emotional subplots in the episodes to come will likely be reduced. With the story now precisely at its halfway point, let us look forward together to the epic monster battles that surely await us in the episodes ahead.